To be honest, I do not like Deepwoken content, and if you clicked on this video, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. The cycle that I feel like we're all just entangled within. Players, content creators, and developers alike. We've been stuck here for a year now. Not to put fault on the devs and not to take it away from them either. It is really about the content that's being pushed out. Content that's created from the game, feedback from the players, and some of those players being content creators. Some of them also being in contact with developers are doing the best that we can, honestly. Everyone's concerns are from good places. I'm honestly really happy and I feel blessed that for a $5 game, it has given me a $100 experience. 200, 300, 400, 500, it's given me some good experiences. Something that's just fit into the last part of the childhood I had left in my teen years before now we're trying to look for jobs. No, this is not this is not the one that I'm looking for, guys. Trust. I'll also go over some comments that you guys had on my most recent video. The support on that video is actually insane, and I didn't even thank you guys for 100 subscribers, but dude, you guys got me like 20 subs from that one vid. Hey man, kudos to y'all. I'm glad y'all like my videos. More bangers coming out soon and definitely more consistently. What is this video about, right? The center intro statement was that I don't like Deepwoken content. I really want to just essentially discuss what we've been able to make of what's been given to us from Deepwoken. From this, I'm just talking about Deepwoken videos in general. Something I will say before we get started is a little disclaimer. I do not wish to have my channel thrive off of the downsides and negatives of Deepwoken. I think a lot of YouTubers for Deepwoken have only been able to make videos that only focus on the negatives of Deepwoken, which has kind of been the star of the show for the last year. This, personally, is going to be my last video on anything bad for Deepwoken. But I will talk about a couple things that I'm excited for, the support that I've gotten as of recent, and trying to look into the YouTuber's perspective. Nogo, Agamasu, and DanVR, those three I want to use as like where it kind of reflects every other creator. But first, we need to build a foundation under that with the common YouTuber, the common creator, and why things are the way they are. Then we'll go into how these content creators have combated with that throughout the year. Now, nothing chronological or historical for any of them, just more recent and things they're known for, things they're infamous for, kind of relating that to the struggle between content creator and the drought that we've been in for Deepwoken. Yeah, so let's go off the basis and the very foundation of everything. Before even talking about, the bad content, what is so bad about this content and why? Obviously, repetitive. It is just repetitive. It is arduous. It's repetitive for everyone. The viewer, it's just the same type of video. Whenever something new comes out, it's broken, it's busted, and someone makes a video on it, and we watch it, and it's just the same unbalanced bullshit until everything a lot of things in the game become unbalanced. This comes with oaths, legendary weapons, an entire attunement. We remember that. We remember that red. Terrifying attunement. And when you repetitively add things like this that just aren't going in any direction, they're not giving us what the community suggests, what we give feedback on, and what we continuously say we're waiting for, yeah, that's repetition for you. There's a cycle in every game when it pertains to the developers, the content creators, and the players. Now, there's a cycle. Sometimes this cycle doesn't always pump out the autonomous results that it needs to function regularly. And what we're talking about, simply, something needs to be fun and something needs to be working towards something. So, there's promise and there's entertainment. There's promise and there's entertainment, right? The anticipation that we've had for this promise that we've been given. I think we've been anticipating and waiting for the most. Conquest and everything coming with it, including growth to Hive, oaths included with Hive, that type of thing we've been waiting for and we just haven't gotten it. But it would be cool if there were other things being added of substance, right? But that's just not the case. With the big things that they've added, something that Dan VR has mentioned in his videos multiple times, and in his very good rewind video for 2024, it's just the fact that these things lack direction. It goes towards nothing and it flops anyways, which is why the running meme, the running joke has been, hey, you know, Deepwoken, more like Slopwoken. The Sarah-made Hollow wasn't fun. It was boring, it was buggy, and it was terribly received by everyone.
This mode is seriously lacking in new enemy variants or just new enemies altogether. Being 100% honest with you, what I really want to see going forward with this dungeon is more creativity and more new ideas.
When you produce repetitive and monotonous, I'm going to be honest, garbage, that's what's going to be pushed into the content created on YouTube. Monotonous garbage, right? And this shows through even the biggest of content creators where they'll just stop posting entirely because it's just boring. I don't want to do this. It's not fun, and it won't give me the results of views. It's not paying the bills. It's not doing anything, and only the highest of the high have stayed to kind of act as pillars to keep the stability of Deepwoken alive. And Dan VR, Agamasu, and Nogo are genuinely the three pillars holding up the last standing conscious breathing Deepwokeners at all. They do this by centralizing discussions in different aspects of Deepwoken. Agamasu is just the mascot. Anything breaking news, anything big, that's him. We've got Nogo over here. He kind of represents everyone sweaty, everyone for PvP, anything meta, anything like that. That's him. That's That's Nogo. And Dan VR is the dark horse of Deepwoken. For all that have fallen into the depths of Deepwoken, banned, neglected, and unheard by the devs and moderators of Deepwoken. Terrible history, by the way. Terrible history that this video could not do justice for. Dan VR is that person to do justice for it. And I once had a very immature mindset of what Dan VR did. I was like I'm like, get this nigga out my feed, bro. Like, why are you always talking shit about Deep? Like it's boring right now, we know, but like, damn. But now I kind of understand. I kind of see that now. I see it. I understand it now. And I definitely do appreciate what Dan VR has done for the community when it comes to just being the voice of unheard voices. Something I will do is kind of dig into Nogo and Agamasu. But first, I do want to just talk about the general content released and produced on YouTube. I already talked about, you know, some build videos, very repetitive, really focused on one stat, like the most posture on one build, the most health on one build, chime, it's boring. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. It gets to a point where it's boring and it's not fun to watch anymore because we know it's not fun to do. We know it's not fun to keep doing this. We need something else. We need the promise. We need the promise, right? It trickles into different things like, you know, funny clip videos where it's just like, you know, bugs. They're good refreshers. Though monotonous, still just the same boring old stuff that is not going to produce anything in the cycle that it's in for much longer. I personally don't watch a lot of Deepwoken content anyways, so that's why I can't really dig deep into Dan VR's, because his shit is beefy anyways. But we have Nogo and we have Agamasu. We're gonna talk about Agamasu first. We're all here for Agamasu, okay? Agamasu is again known for being the epicenter and mascot for Deepwoken. His streams, to be honest, have been disappointing me recently. By recently, I mean over the last half of this year. Just disappointed me. A lot of his yap sessions, they don't keep me. A lot of what he talks about, they don't keep me. A lot of leaks that he talks about, it's usually just the first 10 minutes of the stream, and then the rest is just him doing something else, which is why you probably have seen some gifs flying around about, you know, Agamasu streams where he throws the the wildest shit on a thumbnail, and then you go into it, and it's just like, what are you talking about? You know, he's reacting to videos I'm not interested in. He's playing games I'm not interested in, and maybe I gotta be honest, maybe I'm not interested in Agamasu. Maybe he's merged with Deepwoken so much that it's just become Deepwoken, and when it's not Deepwoken, I just don't care. people also get busy, so we're not watching streams unless they really pertain to something important in Deepwoken, right? And that's like Agamasu's. That is his role. That is his shit, bro. That nobody stops him in there, and that's the one thing where he can't. Recently, over the last half of the year, in my personal opinion, just has not been able to get something to keep me in the stream. Entirely out of his fault. He does anything he can for his stream, for his viewers. Even with the clickbait he throws on, we know he be throwing the most wild shit on his videos. And the same repetitive cycle of this is busted, this is broken, blah blah blah. But he does the most of what he can do with what the devs give him. Really through the game, as the monster leak was released, he talked about, yo, I knew about this and couldn't say anything. He had to struggle himself. He's in this monotonous journey with us, maybe more than us. And I'm just starting to feel that now. Kind of scared. I don't want to make anything boring for you guys. That's why I want to definitely make this my last video, focusing on what is not perfect in Deepwoken, what is ticking me off. If I'm playing a game, I'm doing it to have fun, and I want to grow this channel with Deepwoken, and I wouldn't want it to be off of just the downsides and the bad. But if that's all this game is, I can't do Deepwoken, right? I myself I have not been able to get myself to get onto Deepwoken. The progression itself has been getting really boring recently. Really boring, really repetitive, over and over type shit. No new build you can really make. But it's really about the fact that there's no end goal. There's nothing at the end of the tunnel when it comes to progressing a build. But I definitely want to go and talk about no-go now. No-go, again, represents the sweats, the PvP side of Deepwoken. Everything, pretty hardcore meta. Not hardcore meta, but hardcore enough to where you can expose it to people that are casual, have them understand it, as well as just having anyone really high up in the meta know about it, see it. He can kind of make content for any type of player in Deepwoken. Pretty nice, pretty awesome. That's what he does. What I really like about No-Go is that he shows his dedication, that real hardcore aspect of a player that really loves the game, really grinds on a game. He shows that, and he showed that through the Dormant Splinter. That relic that he spent over 100 hours searching for on stream was absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you, the support for him was crazy. 1,000 was like under his average. I never saw him under like 800. That's pretty good on YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's not about the manyan. It's about the fact that we are all starting to see something collectively. The light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, the light at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing it. We're seeing it. We're seeing it, and we're all seeing it at the same time, simultaneously. I'm just proud that someone like No-Go did that and created an outlet for other people to dedicate themselves to that relic cause. And now, as we're speaking, Agamasu, No-Go, and DanVR are streaming right now, doing their own thing. I promise you, I had all of this in my head before they started streaming, which is pretty cool.